Hey, trombones, welcome back. We are getting ready to talk about the chromatic scale. Now, before we begin to play this scale, if you have not viewed the video that I have done called Scales Introduction, please go ahead and stop this video, go back and watch the introduction so that you will know what I'm talking about when I start referencing information from that video in this one. We are using the one octave scale sheet. If you are an in-person learner, then you probably are already in possession of the one octave scales. If you have been studying at home and are virtual, then you may have a 5-note scale sheet and not have this one. You can go ahead and study using this video, or I have also included the one octave scale sheets on the scale homepage, so that you can make your own personal copy if you need that information. So the scale we're going to be doing is the chromatic. And so I'm going to scroll down here all the way to the bottom of the page. And there is the chromatic. And the chromatic that we're going to be doing is a 1-octave chromatic starting on our low F. So there is F. And we're going to play every available note from our fingering chart all the way up to the high F and then all the way back down to the low F again. So this is F6. Going up to F1 and back down to F6. Now, if you've watched the previous video on the introduction to scales, then you know all about the fact that when we go up the chromatic scale, we are note naming in sharp names. And when we come down, we're going to be naming those same notes by their flat name. So before we begin to play the scale, let's go ahead and just do the note names. So we're starting on the low F. So we have F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, and then back down. Now we're going to do the flat names. E, E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, and F. So in trombone language, you are very familiar with the flat names of notes, but have probably not looked at the sharp names very much, if at all. So just be aware that we're still playing the same notes, the same sequence, they just have two different names. Now, I need you to remember back in the very first days of school when we taught you the 7 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What we were really doing at that point was teaching you the chromatic scale. So the chromatic scale on the trombone is actually just about the easiest thing that you can do. The only thing that you need to remember is that we're going to start in F6. So we'll be going through all those positions, starting in the 6th position instead of 7. So we'll be going 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then after you get here, this is the only thing that you need to remember really in playing this scale, is that we've got to go all the way out to 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when we come down, it will be the reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we start and we end in 6th position. After we get to B flat 1, we're going back out to 7. Pretty easy peasy. All right, I'm going to play this for you slowly. You are welcome to play along, and then I'll speed it up a little bit. I'm sorry, G6, F6. have the chromatic scale from F6 all the way to F1 and back down to F6. Now, I do want to point out one other thing to you. So, in the scale sheet, you will notice that all of the notes going up are tongued notes. And then when you get to the top note, we tongue this F. And then on the way down, we have a slur marked. Now, trombones don't really slur like other instruments do because that would sound weird. It would sound like a gliss. And this is a gliss. And that's not what we mean for this to sound like at all. So you're still going to have to tongue those notes so that they sound like separate notes, only you're going to lightly tongue them. You're going to use more of a loo or a do sound, loo, loo, loo. So it sounds very smooth and connected, even though for everyone else in the band, they're not going to tongue those notes at all. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit more. After you practice it slowly, then you can play this fast. We're starting in F6. Sorry, let me try that again. And there you have your chromatic scale. Now, the chromatic scale is a very important scale for you to learn. It will be a part of every single audition that you do from here all the way through high school and beyond if you continue to study past high school. So make sure that you take the time to do a good job with your chromatic scale, and we'll see you on the next video.